Henry Armstrong was a 3-time champion. He would hold those belts simultaneously. He became featherweight champion in 1937 when he defeated in 6 rounds Petey Cerrone. And he would be the first black American fighter to win the title in that weight division. But in 1938, he would move up to the welterweight division to face Barney Ross. Barney Ross was a 2-time welterweight champion. He was one of the greatest fighters of all times, from Chicago. Master boxer. He would have his wars with Jimmy McLarnin. I'm showing you a book, the Bang Boxing Record Book. Henry Armstrong was placed on the cover along with Barney Ross back in 1938. Phenomenal. Goes to show you the caliber of fighter Henry Armstrong was. This is the original record book in 1938. Now, Henry Armstrong was such a phenomenal fighter. As you can see, he fought out of St. Louis, Missouri. Now, his fighting career record: 151, 21-9, 101 knockouts. He fought from 1931 to 1945. He held a featherweight championship 1937 to 1938, welterweight championship 1938 to 1940, and lightweight championship from 1938 to 1939. Well, today we're going to take a look at his lightweight championship fight. It took place between him and Lou Ambers. But before we do that, I want to take a look at how Henry Armstrong trained. Now, this bag, this mechanism, was designed for Henry Armstrong. And Henry Armstrong was the only fighter that could use this mechanism. Because you had to punch this bag. Let me show you a better angle. And it would move around in less than 1/8 of a second. And he would have the bob and weave, an up punch, and a hooking uppercut, or even straight punch position. And he would get the bag moving the opposite side. And he would do that for 1 full round, no stopping. His arms never stopped moving. As you can see, he was flat-footed, but he would thrust his body forward all the time. And he would even move around this mechanism as though he was hitting a heavy bag. No other fighter had the ability to do that. Let me show you the same illustration in a trainer's manual. Now here you have Henry Armstrong and that same illustration in one of the training books that I have. I have 50 training books going back to the 1800s. And Henry Armstrong had his right hand in position to key off on an uppercut, a right hook, or a straight right hand. And in a fighting position, he can shoot a straight hand to the body if he had to. Now, he would have to work that mechanism on both sides. And he would learn to hook with his left and hook with his right. Uppercut with his hook, both right hand and left hand, and uppercut with his hook, left hand and right hand. He would move around his mechanism in rhythm and in stride. And he would do this for 1 full round. And then he would shadow box for 2 rounds and get right back to this mechanism. And he would do this for 50 rounds straight. Henry Armstrong was incredible. It was supported by sandbags, and it was a rope that was holding the mechanism to the base. Incredible. Now, the book I'm showing you here is all Henry Armstrong. You can see here, Ross Armstrong will box tonight. 40,000 are expected to see. Twice, postponed bout. for former welterweight crown. Nobles to be present. Odds against Barney, keeping title and Garden Bowl, are 1-2. Rivals are fit. How the rivals compare: Barney Ross, Henry Armstrong, and it just goes on to show their stats. Let me show you Henry Armstrong and Lou Ambers. Now, what these books contain are their titles. Henry Armstrong, the entire book is him and Lou Ambers. The other book is entirely Henry Armstrong and Barney Ross, 1,000 pages in that book. And then you have Petey Cerrone, Henry Armstrong, 500 pages of a 1,000-page book of Petey Cerrone and Henry Armstrong. The other half of that book would be Seferino Garcia and Henry Armstrong. But in this book, we're looking at Lou Ambers. They meet at the Polo Grounds for the lightweight championship of the world. These are the facts on the title fight. How the rivals compare: Ambers and Armstrong. It gives statistics on the ticket pricing, seating arrangements, with 30,000 in the crowd, 120,000 gross gate. Mike Jacobs was the promoter. Just giving you a little bit of an insight on this great fight. As you can see here, Henry Armstrong and Lou Ambers. The defender is Lou Ambers, and the challenger is now the welterweight champion, Henry Armstrong. These are some opponents they faced in 1938 before leading up to this fight. And once again, my scrapbooks have articles all over the world. Some of the articles are in a different language. I just wanted to give you a perspective. Lou Ambers and Henry Armstrong. Let's go to another book. Another page, I should say. Now here you have, let's see what we have here. A remarkable record. The weight of evidence, however, favors Armstrong, the dynamic little fighter, man who, within a period of 7 months, running from last October to May, knocked out Petey Cerrone in 6 rounds to win the World Featherweight Championship or crown, and then pounded Barney Ross into retirement to snare the welterweight championship. In 18 months, Armstrong has engaged 38 contests, and only 3 rivals survived a scheduled distance of 35 knockouts. All but 4 were scored inside 5 rounds. 27 of those knockouts came in an unbroken string, never a stretch. The only fighter who would survive in 1937 with Henry Armstrong in 27 bouts would be Aldi Spoldi. Armstrong went 27-0 with 26 knockouts. Shows you all his statistics in this book. Phenomenal fighter was Henry Armstrong. Armstrong takes verdict on points. And the only way Armstrong won this fight, he had to swallow his own blood for 5 rounds because he suffered a cut inside of his gum.